The two candidates for the Ward 3 seat have very different perceptions about how the city is doing. Joining us now is Press Enterprise's Alicia Robinson. Alicia, how exactly do they differ?
Well, now the candidates in the November 5 runoff are Valerie Hill and Mike Subaru. Now they actually both come from law enforcement backgrounds. They're both retired law enforcement officers. Subaru was with California Highway Patrol and Hill was with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. They've both been out there talking to voters, getting their opinions, finding out what their concerns are, and they've both kind of come back with different stories. Hill said that most of the people she talks to are generally pretty happy with Riverside. They like living here, but they have a few more sort of minor concerns, like they wish there was, a better schedule for tree trimming, or it's just minor concerns like that. Now, Subaru, on the other hand, has come back from talking to voters and said that some people feel like the bigger issues are really not being dealt with by the city. He said that he's hearing from people the city streets are in terrible condition. There needs to be a lot of work done on that. He also has heard about concerns with city trees, their roots get into the sewer lines, etc. And then also bigger things like transparency at City Hall and the city government being responsive to residents.
How much do their views have to do with personal philosophy, and how much political strategy is involved in that?
Well, it's probably a little bit of both. Hill has gotten support from the venerable former mayor Ron Loveridge, the current mayor Rusty Bailey. She has the backing of the police and fire unions in the city. So she's to a certain extent viewed by some and has positioned herself as sort of the establishment candidate. And I mean, she didn't come out and say, I support the status quo, but I think that's provided something for Subaru to kind of play off against. And he's kind of portrayed himself as sort of the outsider, someone who's not in with what some people see as sort of the old boys club of City Hall, and that he can use it as a strategy to say, you know what, I'm going to be out there listening to the voters, and then I'm going to go back and represent them and what they want, not listen to what everyone else on the council is saying.
And how do their views compare to those who are currently on the council?
Well, you have a little of both on the current council. I think for the most part, the current council members are more aligned with Hill. Hill has described herself as kind of a positive person who feels like there are a lot of good things about Riverside and she wants to build on those. We do have a couple of council members, or there's a sort of minority that cast dissenting votes on some of the big issues, who feel like, you know what, Riverside is not a bad place, but there are some problems and they need to be fixed. And I think they feel like some of the current council members are not really willing to face up to those. And I think that's the faction that Subaru could potentially align himself with if he's elected.
And Alicia, thank you for joining us. That does it for your Thursday edition of the Political Empire. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.